Welcome to Real Life Reviews with Kevin and Eric. We're the real guys.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Hey man, I'm excited for this one. This is another one in the books, man. This is a continuation of our Halloween or horror month of doing slashers, horror movies. This recommendation is from my man Eric. This movie is Bone Tomahawk with Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, and the dad from Step Brothers. What's his name?
Richard Jenkins.
There we go. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. I remember it was the dad of Step Brothers. And pretty solid, strong male core of actors, man. I'm a huge Kurt Russell fan, all the way back to his Walt Disney days when he was doing like the World's Strongest Kid stuff like that. What you thought? All right, man. So you take it over, E man. I'm already talking.
So I know we were talking before, before we got on the call, but yeah, I guess I feel like it was a good movie. Apparently, Kevin didn't agree with me, so he told me I have to redeem myself, which I'm prepared to do. uh, but basically, the gist of the movie is it's set in the West, the Wild Wild West, and they put a twist on it. They turned it into a Western themed slasher. So basically, what's going on in the movie is um, some guys, the way the movie starts is some guys, are committing a robbery. They're, I think, coach robbers, I think is what they're called.
Yeah,
But they're, committing a robbery. They, kill some people in their sleep. They get ambushed by, some native, indigenous Americans. They don't really show their faces at first. They just show like the one guy, being killed, which is very brutal. Um, then basically the gist of the movie is, um, these Native Americans, they, track one of the coach robbers, back to the town. They abduct him.
right
Um,
hook.
yeah, abduct them, and then as well as a few other people from the town, and then the sheriff, the deputy sheriff, the husband of one of the women who gets abducted. Um, he also joins the caravan, or the group of guys.
Who
Um,
also broke his leg a few weeks
yeah,
ago prior to
broke,
his wife's kidnapping.
yeah, broke his tibia working on a roof, and then another guy who's sharpshooter, a bit of outlaw, joins them, on the trip as well, tracking down the people who were abducted. Um, and then somehow it turns into a mix of murder and cannibalism and like god awful like stuff. So yeah,
So
yeah.
this
That's
sounds like a great movie the way you just described it. Like you were like it Wild West. First of all, I'm a huge Western fan, right?
yeah,
Love Clint Eastwood. Grew up watching, The Man with No Name, the whole trilogy. That's just like my bread and butter, right?
yeah,
Um, so you had me at Western. First of all, you had me at um at Kurt Russell because Kurt Russell also played one of my favorite westerns, Tombstone. Not Tombstone. Tombstone, yeah, Tombstone. So I was like ready to rock and roll, man. Like yo, Kurt Russell in a western, let's see it, man. And first you told me this is gonna be a slasher. Okay, so I believe me and you have a difference in who we believe slashers are. Okay, this was not a slasher. This was a movie in the West with cannibalism and some killing. A slasher to me is a being or a presence or a person who is going after you and killing you or your friends and your family members throughout the entire movie, right? That's a slasher. One entity, unstoppable force. And this was not that. It was just a group of indigenous people living in caves. They call them troglodytes. The Native American gentleman in the saloon was like, "This is not my people. I don't claim them. They don't have a language, and don't ever call them Native American or Indian. They're not that at all. They
yeah,
are there are troglodytes. and they literally are that. Um, I just I gotta lie, I gotta be real with you, but I hated the movie. Um, I hate to say that. I never feel like I should hate a movie, but I didn't like it. I felt like, well, maybe if it was framed differently in my mind, I would knew it was a western, and I would have watched it that lens. I think I would have enjoyed the movie more. But
Yeah,
because I'm watching it for slasher, I'm thinking Jason, thinking Michael Myers. I'm thinking like all out killing, even Ghostface. I'm cool with Ghostface. Give Ghostface action.
yeah.
Sidebar: the robber who escaped and got the Bright Hope and got captured or shot in his foot during the day was actually in Scream, and he
Well,
played Duke. So that was very impressive. I was like, oh man. When I seen him, I was like, oh, it might be a slasher. And I
yeah.
thought it would be kind of cool to see a slasher western. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be different. And it wasn't bad. Ladies and
Well,
gentlemen,
you also have Patrick Wilson in it. I mean, he's been in the Insidious movies,
yes.
the Conjuring
Yeah.
universe. You know, all of those movies. So
So man, when you said all that, man, I seen those two guys in there, man. I was sold. I was ready to rock and roll. I was ready to see a slasher, a
yeah,
horror movie. They actually deem it a western horror. It's not really horror to me. I mean, it's just like it's a western with a little bit of cannibalism and some creatures we don't quite understand. It felt more sci-fi to me. But other than that, I gotta say, man, like the cast was all star, man. I love the cast. I felt like they did the best they could with what they got. Everybody was believable.
yeah.
But would I recommend this movie to anyone in my life? No.
Okay, I'll take that. So
Go ahead.
let me ask, what parts stuck out to you?
The parts that stuck out to me was they played on history a little bit, right? There's a Native
Mhm.
American tribe that has a story about all white beings that were like giants that were cannibalism in the West, and they lived in caves. So it kind of like to me, they kind of played in that little history of an actual Native American, uh, as they would say, story or a myth. So that was kind of cool. That stuck out to me because they were like the creatures in the movie. The troglodytes were all like white, like pale white, and the one main guy was gigantic looking. Like he gave you a feel of a massive being that you could defeat.
Yeah.
So that's what stuck out to me per se in the film. Um, that's it, man. That was all it was for me, man.
Okay.
I just
Do we have any pictures of anything?
yes, we have pictures. Let's go to our slideshow.
Okay.
Here we go. Here's the as you would call them, the motley crew. You got the
Yeah.
gentleman in the back, my man in the back with the white. I thought it was fortuitous he was riding on a white horse.
Yeah.
Horse of death. I thought it was kind of fortuitous. He actually killed 116 Native Americans in his story. He said, uh, or
Yeah.
savages. They said. I don't agree with the term at all. But anyway,
Yeah.
um, cripple right here.
Mr.
Guy was
O'Dwyer.
crippled. No, I'm not gonna call him crippled. He was injured. They called him crippled to the movie. He was injured due to breaking his leg. Then you had the backup deputy, which was the guy from Step Brothers,
Yeah.
and then you had my man, the great Kurt Russell.
Yeah. So I go back to the other
Yeah,
shot.
got you, bro.
So Mr. O'Dwyer, sitting down, he broke his tibia. And he was trying to, chug along, trying to pull his weight, but he was holding him back. So the doctor, Richard Jenkins, or Deputy Chicory, he was about to set his tibia back in place. Um, and about his character, the deputy, he was kind of aloof. So like I don't know if maybe he had like a head injury or something, or maybe he's been through a lot of trauma, but
His wife
seems
died.
like, huh?
His wife died, and he was also in the war. So when they say the war at this time, you can
Yeah.
assume it was the Civil War.
But I was thinking like he was probably at one point like like really on his game. He survived till the end, but like he was probably really on his game at some point, and then life happened, and yeah, yeah, he just became this kind of like comedic relief character, but still like important to the story overall. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, sure. Um,
to me,
so again, Kurt Russell was actually his character. He is the sheriff of the town. One of the robbers in the beginning of the film that desecrated the troglodytes graveyard, who ran to Bright Hope, the town. He was in town and noticed he was a robber. Great deduction from the sheriff. He did shoot him in the leg. And O'Dwyer's wife is also a backup doctor in the town, which I thought was kind of cool to see a woman be painted as a doctor. And so she came to try to treat the guy in the hospital. I mean, not in the hospital, in the jail. And the troglodytes came in and killed a black kid who happened to be the stall boy, and then um, kills him, takes the three people, the deputy on shift, um, the guy who's getting surgery on, and the woman. I thought it was interesting. The Native American who they came to consult with. I'll show you him real quick. Is he in the scene? There he is, right. They consulted with him first about like, oh, this must be natives. Who was it? And he was like, oh, the only thing they could be is troglodytes. And he was like, well, they only took three people. Why did they kill the black fellow? It's basically the black man. He was like, well, they don't eat black people. He said the N word uh, in the film. So I guess they only black people, only white people. So here we are. Killed the black kid quite gruesomely. That was kind of gruesome. The way they
yeah.
killed them, took them out like that. And here we are. Let's go see the troglodytes. That's the main troglodyte guy. Said that looked like like he was monstrous looking. He got tusk in his jaws. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say on the previous slide when the Native American cultural expert was talking about the black guy that was killed. I had the thought maybe it wasn't racist. Maybe there weren't like racist undertones. I had the thought that maybe because again the Europeans were the invaders who came to the New World. Maybe they don't eat black people because they don't have any squabble or like any issue with black people, so they just kill them. But
That
maybe
that that
with the
I guess
Europeans, I don't know.
I disagree with that, man. Like, you going to kill me and not eat me though? I mean, it's black. Dark meat ain't good. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I mean, I like a thigh more than like the breast.
All right,
So you,
all right.
you know what I'm saying, bro? I don't know, man. I can't vibe with that, man. First of all, they troglodytes. They live in a cave. How do they know somebody invaded their country? They don't even speak English or native dialect.
They know they have their own way of communicating, so maybe
Yes,
like it was passed down
with
orally.
no rules.
All right, maybe I went too deep. Maybe I went too deep. We can go to the next.
Yeah, man, they can communicate only with themselves. My man had to he had to pull this thing out the dude's neck to trick him. It was like a whistle or something.
That was pretty dope. I thought that.
I mean, I guess, but like, how would he know to do that?
I mean, his wife's a doctor, so
I mean, no, but he was a cowboy, right? So he's always gone. It's the biggest part of the movie. He's gone all the time. He comes back home. She was happy he was home. Broke his leg. Yeah. Anyway, how would he have known to be like, I'm gonna pull this out this man's neck? I'm gonna blow in it.
I mean, I think that's kind of common knowledge. Like like basic anatomy. Like your voice box is around here. Just cut it open and blow in it. And
I the only time I ever seen that work is in Jurassic Park.
I was gonna say,
But this is before Jurassic Park, though, bro. This is like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I
all right,
mean,
I give
I,
up.
I don't know, man. Call it stretch a little bit. Um, Long story short, Mr. O'Dwyer saves the day. Kurt Russell ultimately takes his untimely death again in a movie. Um, yeah.
What other photos do we have?
I think that's it, man. We got that. Got this. We got them stepping my man Kurt Russell's neck. Um, and that's it.
Um, well, there was one, infamous part of the movie.
Oh, when
Um,
he got the when they put the bone in his mouth.
no, in their cave or their hideout when when the sheriff, got captured and the deputy sheriff and who else was with him? Bruder was already dead. He got killed.
Was like Nate, maybe. Was it Nate?
Nate, yeah, Nate.
Nick.
Nate was there, and then Mr. O'Dwyer's wife.
Nick was
Um,
his name.
yeah. How did you feel when they sacrificed Nate and they just split him like right down the middle? Like,
I
how'd you
start
feel?
eating them. I
Yeah,
mean, bro, that was.
it
I've
was a
seen
little
so
bit.
many slashers, man. I guess I am kind of like desensitized, man.
Okay,
I gotta admit, I am, bro. Like that was like. I mean, I've literally seen movies where guys get cut in half with a sword, and this, you
okay,
know. I mean,
okay.
I guess I mean it was like it was. I
Yeah,
mean, honestly, when I seen it, my first thought was, oh, the reason why they split them in half. Oh, the reason why they started with the genital area. Oh, okay, I see what they're doing. They're just basically trying to get the my my great granddad was Native American, so I guess like before you when a squirrel, for instance, like if you got a squirrel, you want to eat it, the first thing you would do, you would take the sack out first. You know, the must they call it the musk sack or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it. My dad mentioned it one time. That's one of the things they take out first. So I was like, oh, okay, they're skinning them basically. I
okay,
guess I gotta kind of,
okay. So we're probably not gonna post about this movie. Or
What do you mean?
is this worthy of a post, or we just
Always worth the approach, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the movie, man. Of course,
okay?
bro. We don't always have to agree on movies. This is why we do this.
Okay,
This is about all fair and love in movies. We don't do
okay.
war, we do movies. All right, critic reviews. So I'm obviously the minority here, guys. So critic reviews. IMDb rating gave it a 7.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 91%. And the fans like us, Fandango, gave it a 74%. And IGN gave it a 7.4 out of 10. Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, these are all passing grades. All passing grades. Every last one of them. All right. So, obviously, I'm the minority. Somebody out there, some people out there resonated with this movie and loved it and said, I gotta see more. Okay? I'm not that person. uh, all right. Now it's our favorite time of every show, the real guys rate. All right. Eric, how many reels are you going to give this film on pacing?
I gave it 8.5. I don't know. Maybe it's too high.
No, don't make
Maybe,
me don't
maybe.
have me change your perspective of the movie, man. You were so excited to share this movie with me, and I felt the excitement. I was ready to go. I was like, yes, an Eric recommendation.
I mean, I'm revisiting, you know, my previous feelings or thoughts about it. I mean, but I'll stick with my rating, 8.5 out of 10. Um, I got a bit of information I'll share after I'm done with all my ratings, but cast, I give it a 9 out of 10. Ensemble cast, I think they meshed really well. They had
They
good
did.
synergy.
They definitely did. I agree with that.
Cinematography, wasn't a lot of special effects. I feel like it was really understated, special effects, and I appreciated that. I thought it was good. Um, Storyline, 8 out of 10. I felt like it was good. There were some things that maybe had some like racial undertones and
We
uh,
expected. It's the West, 1800s.
yeah,
Right after Civil War, slavery just is fresh in people's mind. I get
yeah,
it.
yeah. So I give it an 8 out of 10. Overall average was 8.6 out of 10.
For the reals,
Yeah, the bit of information I was going to give, the director is actually the guy who directed another favorite movie of yours that I recommended to you. Uh, the same guy, Craig or S. Craig Zoller, he directed Brawl and Cell Block 99.
that was actually a solid movie, man.
Yeah,
That was gruesome, but that was a solid movie, man.
yeah,
Vince Vaughn was a beast in that movie, man.
yeah,
Like that was a good recommendation, man. That was a good movie. I like that one a lot.
yeah. I just don't like this one, but we
This
have
was a
bad
stinker.
we have bad days, so it's cool.
All right, so for me pacing, I gave it a 4 out of 10 on Reels. Reason why is because if it had not been for my wife, bro, I'd have turned it off. Straight up. I'd have turned it off. I'd have Wikipedia it, and we'd have had a review on it.
Yeah,
I 41 minutes in it, man. I was like, yo, where are we going here? Like it was so slow. Um, it just didn't pick up fast enough for me.
hmm,
Um, you know, just didn't. It just didn't. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have a connection enough to the characters to care. To be honest with you, I didn't have a. I didn't care. I didn't care enough to watch their journey. I didn't care enough. I didn't. It just I didn't even really believe the relationship, Mr. O'Dwyer and Miss O'Dwyer, man. You give what they gave me was, oh you're home. I told you like on that roof and da 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 da, and then she does a sex scene, and I'm like, where did that come from? And like, I didn't believe the relationship. You feel me?
yeah,
I didn't get a connection to that. So I didn't care much about the rescue mission, right? Um, Cast 9 out of 10. Why are you 9 out of 10? Because I felt like the actors, they're great actors. Every last one of them, they did the best they could with what they gave them, the script they gave them. So I got to ride with that, man.
yeah.
And when you get my man Kurt Russell the movie, I'm still riding with you. So, um, go ahead.
Uh, Sorry to object, but the cast, I was actually reading originally the people that they had playing in the roles was going to be Peter Sarsgaard, the guy that played in Orphan.
Oh
Uh,
man,
yeah, he was going to be Mr. O'Dwyer. Um, I think Kurt Russell was still going to be, the deputy or the
the chef,
sheriff.
sheriff.
And then what was her name? Jennifer. Jeez, I forget her name. Jennifer Carpenter, who played in Dexter, and she also played in White Chicks. She was like the brunette with the dark hair.
Okay,
It would be Mrs. O'Dwyer. Um, yeah, I thought that would have been a good cast, but anyway, yeah,
man, Peter Sarsgaard, man, the whole Sarsgaard family is phenomenal actors. So you
yeah,
had me right there. I would love to
yeah,
see that, man. Cinematography, I gave it a 4. Just it impressed me. It didn't impress me. But I did like the fact that it gave us an old school Western feel with the cinematography. But it just didn't impress me. It wasn't nothing new. Wasn't nothing innovative in it. It was just like cut and dry for me. Storyline, 4 out of 10. Because again, storyline and pacing come together for me. It just didn't connect. It just didn't do well for me. It was too slow. I didn't connect with the characters. I didn't believe the story. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's movies that I've seen that I watched where the characters you just don't. It's just so fast, but you just gravitate to the characters, right? For some reason, whether it's charisma of the actor or whether they how they carry the character, you want to see more, or you see darkness in them. You're like, I want to connect to this person. What made them this way?
yeah. I respect it.
Yeah, man. So overall, for me, that boils down to a 5.3 out of 10 on Reels. Yeah, this was a failing grade on Kevin's part, y'all. For me, y'all.
Yeah,
This is the second movie I was recommended by our man E. That happened to be a stinker. And in fact, the first movie that was a stinker he ever recommended me that was a stinker was the Northman. He didn't even see it. He just told me all the reviews he saw. I brought my pregnant wife with my son to see this movie on the only time we had a date, and we both watched the
Wow.
movie and said, "What the did we just watch?"
Wow.
Uh, so
Man.
uh, I am just letting you guys know my man E usually doesn't miss, but when he misses hard.
But hey, hey, I'm the comeback kid, so I
You know
got
what,
something.
E? I'm gonna give you redemption. Okay, we talked about this earlier. We got to give you redemption, man. I can't let you go out like this, man. So we're gonna do an episode. It's gonna be called Real Redemption. All right. He has to redeem himself right now. He got to bring this back for me because, like, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they and them, I am disappointed in this movie. I just did not connect at all. And I want to connect with movies. This is why I do it. I love movies. And when you see a movie you don't like, you feel like I wasted 2.5 hours of my life.
Yeah, it hurts a little bit. So yeah, it hurts a little bit, but it's cool.
Hey man, it's all good though. Hey, I got to see my man Kurt Russell in a great role, in a more role I like to see a man playing. I just hated how he went out, bro. He went out like a chump. He really went out like a chump, bro. Like he like
He still took 3 out.
right, but it don't matter, bro. He didn't even put him a fight, bro. He got up. They pulled him out the gate. They put him out the prison, bro. He came up and said this, and was on the ground and
Dude,
was knocked out. It's like, Sheriff, get up, get up, get
Kurt
up.
Kurt Russell was 65 years old when he made
Hey
that movie,
man, if Stallone
and he
and
was
Arnold Schwarzenegger can still do movies like this, I want to see a 65-year-old Kurt Russell be the Kurt Russell of of every movie I love him in. Like when he plays Snake Piskin when he was in Escape from New York. I want to see that Kurt Russell, man. I want to see a Kurt Russell that can be undefeatable. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see my heroes soft and beaten, downtrodden, and beat up. I want to see
no,
my heroes be invincible in some
no. I
areas.
was saying like the fact I was saying that he was 65 was like he wasn't stiff in
No,
the
he
movie.
wasn't right. He
He
wasn't.
wasn't
I
stiff
just
at
hated
all.
that he got beat up.
Yeah, that's in the end. All right, clearly I'm not going to redeem myself on this one.
No, you get your redemption, bro.
On
A
this
real
one,
redemption. Not this one, bro.
not on this
But
one. Like,
well, as always, man. Hey, man, it's a pleasure, man. Even to watch a movie, man, and discuss it with you, man, and get your perspective and see why you liked it, why you loved it. I mean, again, I'm the minority, right? So the world liked it. It may not have done great in theaters as box office per se, but the critics liked it. Fans liked it. I just happen to not be one of those fans. So
yeah,
if you just give it a shot, see what you think, you may love it. Or you may feel like me. Whatever it is, all different it is. Life's a movie. And enjoy it while you're here.
through that.
Man, again, this is another episode of Real Life Reviews with Kevin and Eric. Glad you joined us. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Get the Facebook up at some point. But let's get it cracking. We'll see you all soon. Peace, love,
Yeah.
and hair grease.